Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So yesterday we mentioned that Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah says that she's not going to get meher. That is when the husband, the master married of his slave girl, then he killed her. And Saiben says she's still going to, she'll get a meher. In other words, the meher will go to the master. Uh, and they say that it resembles her dying a normal death, right? وهذا لأن المقتول ميت بأجله. And Saibain, now they explain further and they say that the person who died was killed, right? He died on his appointed time. Pastora katala ajnabiyun. So it becomes just as when a stranger is killed. That just as when a stranger is killed uh, the slave girl, then the husband is to give the full meher to the master. So likewise, they say when the master kills his own slave girl, the husband must give the full meher to the master. وله أنه منع المبدل قبل التسليم. Imam Sab's Dalil, right? Remember, all this took place before the khul, before the husband could make the khul for her. So Imam Sab's Dalil is that the master has prevented the mubdal, which is the benefits of the Buddha, right, before handing it over. For yujaza bimad'il badli. So he will be punished with with the stopping of the exchange. In other words, he won't get the meher because he has stopped the Buddha from being used, right? So he's going to be punished by not getting the money for the Buddha. Right. Just as when a free woman becomes a murtadda. If a free woman becomes a murtadda and the fool didn't take place and she don't get meher, you understand it? Because now the nikah breaks and she's the cause of the nikah breaking and he never make use of the Buddha, so she doesn't get meher. Right. Now Imam Sahib, so they say it's Saiben said that it's like she died normal death. So we say, it's not the same. وَالْقَتْلُ فِي أَحْكَامِ الدُّنْيَا جُعِلَ أَتْلَافًا. Killing in the laws of the world is regarded as destroying. حتى وجب القصاص والدية. So much so that qisas and diyat, blood money, if it's intentional killing, then qisas becomes wajib, retribution, and unintentional killing, then diyat, blood money, becomes wajib. You understand? So we're saying it's not the same as dying on a normal death. Rather, killing, when it comes to the dunya, it is regarded as you destroyed something and rules, what's the name, based on that. فَكَذَا بِحَقِّ الْمَهْرِ. So likewise, in the right of the meher also, we will use that. When it comes to dunya, the rights of the meher also, then we will say no, she mustn't. She won't get meher. In this case, the master won't get the meher. Right. وإن قتلت حرة نفسها قبل أن يدخل بها زوجها فلها المهر خلافا لزفر رحمة الله عليه. Right. And if a free woman killed herself before her husband could make dukhul with her, then for is the meher, contrary to Imam Zufar rahmatullah alayhi. Right. هو يعتبره بالردة وبقتل المولى أمته. And he makes qiyas on the case when she became a murtadda. That just as in the case of the murtadda, she doesn't get meher because dukhul didn't take place as yet. Likewise here also, she shouldn't get meher because she killed herself before the husband could make dukhul with her. Right. And then he also makes qiyas on the when the mawla kills his female slave. They also know meher was wajib. وَالْجَامِعُ مَا بَيْنَّهُ. And the common dalil between the two cases is what we have explained already. أَنَّهُ مَنَى الْمُبْدَلَ قَبْلَ التَّسْلِيمِ. In this case also, Imam Zufar says, by killing herself, she deprived her husband before he could make use of the Buddha. وَلَنَا أَنَّ جِنَايَةَ الْمَرْءِ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ غَيْرُ مُعْتَبَرَةٍ فِي حَقِّ أَحْكَامِ الدُّنْيَا. Our dalil here now to say why this masla is different is that the crime of a man against himself is not considered in the right of the laws of the world. وَشَابَهَ مَوْتَهَا حَتْفَ أَنْفِهَا. So it will resemble her dying a normal death. You understand? There's no ruling. If she killed herself, there's nothing else that happens. It says though she died. Nobody has to pay anything. There's no penalties on anyone. You understand it? It says though she died normally. بخلاف قتل المولى أمته, contrary to the killing of the mawla, his female slave, لأنه يعتبر في أحكام الدنيا, because it is considered in the laws of the dunya, حتى تجب الكفارة عليه, so much so that kafara is wajib upon the master. He has to pay kafara. So a man, if he kills his slave boy or slave girl, the master, there's no qisas upon him. You understand it? But he's going to have to pay kafara. You understand? Because there's a little bit doubt there that he owns the slave boy and slave girl. So it's his own possession. You understand? So it's like he destroyed his own possession. So although it's haram, but there's no qisas upon him. So there will be kafara upon him. He has to pay the kafara. Kafara of killing. You understand it? وَإِذَا تَزَوَّجَ أَمَةً فَالْإِذْنُ فِي الْعَزْلِ إِلَى الْبَوْلَى عند أبي حنيفة رحمة الله عليه. And when a man marries a female slave, then the permission in regards to azl is to the master. What is azl? Azl is to pull out before ejaculation, so they don't get pregnant. You understand it? Right. So the permission in regards to azl is to the master, according to Imam Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi. When Nabi Yusuf wa Muhammad rahmatullah an al-idna ilayha. Sahibain say the permission is for the female slave. You understand it? Like that, when it comes to a normal couple, husband and wife, both free, then the permission is with the female, with the woman. You understand? Right. But now here the permission is, they say the permission also here with the female slave. Because what is her right? حتى ثبت لها ولاية المطالبة. So much so that the authority of demanding wati is established for her. As a female slave, the husband is not giving her wati, she can take him up. You understand? وَفِي الْعَزْلِ تَنْقِيسُ حَقِّهَا. And in azl, it is decreasing her right. You understand it? A person makes azl, then he is not doing a complete wati. وَيُشْتَرَطُ رَضَاهَا. Therefore, her happiness has been made a condition. كَمَا فِي الْحُرَّةِ. Just as in a free woman. Just as in a free woman, there also you need her permission for azl. بِخِلَافِ الْأَمَةِ الْمَمْلُوكَةِ. Contrary to a female slave who's owned, right? In other words, the master's making what his own female slave, right? لأنه لا مطالبة لها, because there is no demand for her. فلا يعتبر رضاها. So her happiness will not be considered. In other words, she doesn't have the authority to demand the master from the master. You understand it? Because that's not the purpose. That's not her purpose. She's there more for khidmat, right? So it's not her right to get wati from the master. So therefore, her happiness was not being considered. وَوَجْهُ ظَاهِرِ رِوَايَةٍ أَنَّ الْعَزْلَ يُخِلُّ بِمَقْصُودِ الْوَلَدِ. And the reason of Zahir riwayat, which is Imam Hanifa rahmallahi masla, the azl, the permission for azl is for the master, right? Is it azl here brings a deficiency in the objective of a child, and وَهُوَ حَقُّ الْمَوْلَى, and that is the right of the master that they get a child, because that child becomes his now. Child goes into slavery under him. Understand? وَيُعْتَبَرُ رِضَاهُ. Therefore, his happiness is considered. وَبِهَذَا فَارَقَ الْحُرَّةَ. And with this point here, this masla is different from the case of the free woman. You understand? That it is, you understand? In the hurra, there is no haqqul mawla. But here, in this case, there is haqqul mawla. You understand? Because the child would come to the master. Sahibain is saying it's her right because she's got the right of wati, right? Imam was saying that he's got the right to the child, so it's his right. And then Sahibain as a backup, what they said, just as a free woman, the right is hers because she's got right of mutalaba. So we say the difference between the free woman and this case here where somebody marries his female slave, the master's female slave, right? There is no haqqul mawla in the case of the free woman, but here is the case of haqqul mawla. Leave it till later.